Hey everyone, this is Seth with SethPerler.com. I hope you have had an awesome summer. I want to talk a little bit today about the mindset that you want to have as you begin this school year. So I don't care if you're in middle school, high school, or college, graduate school, it doesn't matter. You want to have certain mindsets about school that are going to help you be successful in school, but not necessarily in the way that you might think. For example, I do not care about letter grades. I do not even believe in letter grades, although they are a necessary evil for a lot of you. So I may not be saying things in a traditional sense, but I'm gonna really try to give you some good mindset tips. First of all, as you're approaching this school year, you want to have in the back of your mind the purpose of education. What are you doing there? What are you doing in school? And the purpose of education is to help you have an awesome life. Not a mediocre life, not a sad life, not a hopeless life, an awesome life. Now, of course, education doesn't always provide what you need, the tools to do that. Part of that is your responsibility to grab the tools and get what you need out of education to have an awesome life. Sometimes you get awesome teachers that are just brilliant, and there's nothing like a brilliant teacher that cares about you in order to give you tools and to help you believe in yourself and to inspire you. So the purpose of education is to give you a toolkit or a toolbox or a roadmap to build an incredible life for yourself, a remarkable life, a life that is authentic, that's congruent with what you really believe, not with what the system or culture or society or people that you know are trying to tell you you should be or do, but that helps you authentically become you. So you want to always keep in mind the purpose of education, and if education isn't meeting that purpose, hopefully you can do something about it. Advocate for yourself, drop a class, whatever the case may be, but try to get out of education what it's supposed to be giving to you. Always keep that in the back of your head. Of course, you're going to be doing things like busy work, homework that really may not be valuable at all, and you really want to listen to yourself when you're sitting there questioning that and saying, I don't think this is helping me at all. You want to address that in a healthy manner. So you should listen to your mind. When you're questioning things, there's a reason for it. Okay? So we don't always get the purpose. Fight for the purpose. It is for you. Your education is for you. Next, mindset. A mindset that you should have about grades. Again, I don't even believe in letter grades. I literally think they are morally wrong. I think they're a horrible way to assess, and they don't give information about what was learned or about effort that was put in or about growth that was made. They're very arbitrary. Different teachers give grades based on different metrics and different things, so there's no consistency, but we don't talk about this. So don't worry too much about grades. If you're one of those students that always wants to get straight A's and you put a lot of your pressure on yourself to get straight A's, I want to caution you that that pressure may not be serving you. After you get into the real world, in other words, after you get out of school and college, if you go to college, there are no grades in life, okay? Things are assessed and looked at in very different ways. So don't worry too much about grades. Now again, grades are a necessary evil. If you have grades at your school, then there's something you have to get certain grades. But what you really want to get out of education is educational experiences that help you grow, that help your life, that help your social life, your emotional life, that inspire you. You want to get knowledge and learning, and that's what you want out of education. You don't want to just shoot for grades. That's ridiculous, and that's not what it's about. It's not to say that making goals is bad or anything like that, but I want you to think critically about what the grades actually mean and make your goals very much about your experience, okay? Next thing about mindset is about testing, particularly standardized testing. State testing in Colorado, we have TCAP, used to be called CSAP, same crap, SAT, ACT, GRE, whatever testing you're doing. Somehow, somewhere, somebody thought about standardized tests, said, oh, wouldn't this be a great way to assess people? And it gives you a very small snapshot of what's going on, but it doesn't give you details. There's a lot of flaws with the tests. I don't believe in them personally. Again, they're a necessary evil. What I want your attitude to be, your mindset about the tests, if you stress out about tests, I don't want you to stress out. It's not for anybody but you. I mean, the education is for you, okay? So what I want you to do is go in there, and if you have to take the test or you have to take the ACT for a college application or things like that, just know in your mind that it's not that important. They're called high stakes testing because there's a lot of pressure around it. People use these tests to make decisions sometimes about you, sometimes about a school or a teacher, but these are not effective. Everybody knows this. These are not effective ways to make the decisions that we're making on them. So in your mind, I want you to relax about it. Do your best. Eat an awesome breakfast that has brain food in it. Get a good night's sleep and take the test and do your best. But you have to be in a relaxed mind state. The more nervous you are, the worse you're going to do. But just do your best and let it go, okay? Way too much pressure is put on testing. This is about your life and, again, creating an awesome life. So how important is it? Some people think it's really important. I'm not convinced. Mindset. Remember, your education is for your future so that you can self-actualize. So if you think about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, so that you can have, again, the best life possible. A life that's authentic and good. So this education is for your future. Also, I want to mention that the education is for your present. If you're not happy in the present and you have 7 million activities and you're doing homework all the time and you're stressed out all the time, or you're not doing homework all the time and you're stressed out, then your present life is not happy. If your present life isn't happy, do you think your future is going to be happy? I want you to have fun and be in the present now and enjoy life now while preparing to be able to have an awesome future, okay? So both of those are very important. There's no sense in losing out on enjoying your life in this period of time. For example, some college students will want to cram tons of hours so that they can graduate faster. That's absurd because they lose their life in the meantime. They're studying so much, they're working so hard, a lot of times they'll have a job too, and they're not living it, and they think that that habit's gonna change after they graduate because they wanna graduate sooner. Really think about how good is your present and what can you do to make your present better, okay? Take your time, life's not going anywhere, all right? Just enjoy what you have and build for the future. Now, I'll get to this one in a moment, but first I want to talk about this in terms of mindset. What is success? So if we're looking at the purpose of education, that's to have a great life, and we're looking to have a great future and have a good present in the meantime, what is success? Is it good grades? Is it getting good scores on tests? We get very confused about this, and we think that these are metrics that will tell you how successful you're going to be in life. Is it how much money you have? Is it how many friends on Facebook you have? I think you know the answer to all these questions. That is not success. Success is happiness and well-being. If you're taking care of yourself, if you're happy, if you have great relationships and a good support network in your life, these types of things are what success is about. Now, I'm going to tell you about my model of your life, okay? The model that I've come up with the things that sort of equate to success. This little red section here represents success. It really represents, again, happiness and well-being. The bigger this area, the happier and more well-being you have. Okay, that's what I consider success. Now, how does a student or a human being or you have as much success? In other words, the best life possible. How do you have the best life possible? Well, to me, there are 4 components to this life, and here's how it goes. You have a social, emotional, cognitive, and physical component to your life. I'm going to start with the physical because it's the most concrete part of your life. Here are the questions you want to ask yourself about your physical body. Are you getting restful sleep? Are you eating nutritious food that nourishes your body? And are you getting adequate fitness and exercise and movement? Sleep, nutrition, exercise, that's all. That's the physical body. So in order to have well-being, you want your body to be as healthy as you can possibly have it, okay? It's always challenging and it's a balancing act and there's Our culture is filled with so much food that's so unhealthy, and it's hard to even find sometimes really healthy stuff, but that's what you want to be looking at within this circle. And the healthier and more well-being you have in this circle, the better all of them are, because each of the circles affect each other. I'm going to move on from physical to emotional. How well are you able to regulate your emotions? In other words, when you get stressed, when you get overwhelmed, when you get anxious, when you get angry, when you get frustrated, when you get sad, whatever the emotion is, are you able to regulate it, or is it controlling you? Learning to regulate emotions, we're not really taught to do that. This is something you can learn in many, many ways. Do you need a therapist? Do you need something to help you work with regulating emotion so that you can feel happy, so that you can feel good emotions, okay? So you want your physical body to be happy and well. You want wellness here. You want emotional health and emotional wellness. And now we're going to move on to the next, which is social relationships. Do you know how to set boundaries? Do you know how to say no to people? Do you know how to have healthy arguments with people where you're actually able to make headway and come to some common ground and get some resolution? Do you have great friendships? Do you have good relationships with your family? Healthy relationships that are fun and nourishing? So social, it's also community. Are you involved in your community, whether it's a school community or the larger community or the world community? Like, do you feel like you belong in your family? Do you feel like you belong in your school or in your circles with friends? Do you feel like you belong in the world? If not, that's something you can do something about. You need to do something about it, because that's one of the areas that's going to help you be happier and have success in life, is to have an awesome social network. I'm not talking about Facebook or Twitter or anything. I'm talking about a social network of supportive, awesome human beings in your life. If you don't, get rid of the ones you have and make good friends and learn about who you are so that you can make that better. All right, next, cognitive. You got physical, emotional, social, and cognitive. That's your academics, that's your mental, that's your metacognitive. Do you understand your learning styles? Do you know if you're left brain or right brain? Do you know if you're auditory, visual, or kinesthetic learner? Do you know what your Myers-Briggs profile is, or any of these things? Metacognition has to do with, do you know how you learn, how you process, how your brain works, okay? If you don't, you need to learn that stuff. And you need to have approaches to school that match your brain, because a lot of times the students I work with have very quirky, interesting, different brains. And school is not matched to their brain. So they have to figure out how to match the school, unfortunately, because a lot of times schools are not equipped to handle people who are outside the box. School tends to be a very inside the box, cookie cutter thing that we think is going to somehow magically give everybody what they need, and it doesn't always. So for success, you want to have wellness and happiness in your physical life, your emotional life, your social life, and your cognitive life. The better you are able to nourish each of those, the happier and the more success you have. And that mindset, really keeping in mind the purpose of education and are these things being met, that's what you want to be looking at with education. And if your education in school is not meeting those needs, then there's education outside of school. Learning, reading books, learning from people, watching videos, whatever you need, having experiences, whatever you need to do for your education. Education isn't always in school, okay? So, with that, I'm going to wrap this video up. Hope that was helpful to you and that helps drive your mindset. If you like what I'm doing, if you like this video and this was helpful, please share it with somebody you care about. And I hope you have an awesome school year, and I will see you soon. Take care.